the lies and keep the lies and the propaganda going, but it don't cost you nothing to tell the truth. You see what I'm saying? So these preachers are a bunch of hypocrites, brother. And again, I know you got family in church. Your pastor, you need to learn this so you can let him know, listen, man, it's time to quit teaching our people these lies and teaching the daggone truth. We are the children of Israel. We are God's chosen people. And God has a controversy against us because there's no truth in the land. There's no truth in these churches. There's no truth in these schools. There ain't no truth nowhere in this America, Babylon the Great. There's no truth right here in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee. There's no truth in Chicago. That's why our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Right? You got kids, right? Now, how old are your kids? Let me just 28, 27, all right? So this is why we got to come out here, man. You know, on my way here, I was seeing all these churches. You go to church? Okay. We all come from different walks of life, right? We've been indoctrinated with different religions and different philosophies and theologies. Give me Colossians 2 and 8. I'm going to show you something. This is why it's so important for us to come out here. Do your pastor come out here and teach in the streets? He don't. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you why. Because that's why we had to come out here. You know why? Because our people are constantly being lied to. Right. The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6, it says, my people. God's talking to a specific people. He says, my people perish. What people you see perishing? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American people, right? God says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. He's speaking to a specific people. That's why the brothers say, do you know who you are according to the Bible? Because a lot of us don't know who we are, okay? We think we Negroes, colors, African Americans, blacks. Am I right? We've been given all these different names, okay? All these different labels, all right? Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, okay? They call us everything but a child of God. Am I right? But you think the people of God is the so-called white man. Am I right? You see the Chinese, the East Indian people, they set up their businesses in our communities, they grocery stores, their massage parlors, they nails and spas and all that. But when it comes to us, we look like we're struggling just to try to make it. Am I right? But the sad thing is that these preachers in these churches are not really identifying who the people of the Bible is, who this Bible is really talking about. Bring it out. When you see certain movies, do you see us in those movies? You don't see us. Why not? Bring it out. They say, but God so loved the world, they quote John 3:16. Well, where we at in there? Aren't we a part of the world? You would think that, but truth be told, that's the reverse. God is talking to the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. For instance, is there a sports world? There's a sports world, right? There's a food world, right? There's a animal world. Am I right? Brother, you hear what I'm saying? Just pay attention to what I'm saying. I'm going somewhere with this. So, with that being said, we're so easy to quote John 3:16, for God so loved the world. Well, if he loved the world so much, these Christianity, so-called white men, why do they treat us so bad the way they treat us down through history? If God so loved the world, well, we're not included when you see these biblical movies. Okay, what's going on? Let me show you what's going on. I ain't gonna hold you long. I know you got things to do, but I want to show you a few things. Colossians, read that 2 and 8.
The book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you.
Beware lest any man, even me, beware if any man spoil you. We ain't out here to spoil you, okay? We out here to heal our people. We out here to show our people, to give them the medicine that's going to heal them. We're going to show them what it took for us to come together as black men, young black men, old, middle age, and young black men. What it took for us to come together, because you don't see that amongst black men, right? We're all about ourselves. We gang banging, we're shooting and killing each other. You know, I'm hearing what they call kill walking. You know, where that come from? Good God, is it that bad here?
Bring it out.
You know, it's just another attribute of Chicago, you know. But a lot of people, again, I didn't know a lot of black people live here. I thought this was for the Green Bay Packers, the cheeseheads, okay? But let's deal with this Bible really say. Let's deal with who this Bible really talking to. Because they ain't going to tell you this on the news, and they ain't going to tell you this in these churches, okay? Watch this, read.
Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Through philosophy and vain deceit. My brother, somebody turn that picture right there around for me. I want to get to the philosophy and vain deceit. Read on.
Is that it?
After the tradition of men.
After the what?
After the tradition of men.
This here is philosophy and vain deceit. Is this Christ according to the Bible? Do your preacher tell you this according to the Bible? He really don't. Is it in y'all churches, the picture of a white man hanging on the wall anywhere? But it's in our minds, though, ain't it? That's what our people think is Christ. But that ain't Christ according to the Bible. We understand that, right? But it's sad a lot of people don't know that. Our children don't know this. Flip that sign around. Why? Who's teaching us this mess? You, whether you're a Baptist or you're a Mormon, what are you, Pentecostal? What are you? What's you're a Christian? Okay. So, the truth, again, the Christians were basically the followers of Christ. They were Christ-like. When they recognized them, they recognized that they were just like Christ.
That's right.
Okay. What made them just like Christ to call them Christians? They kept the laws. They spoke the same thing. They had the same mind.
Right.
Okay. They had the same spirit, just like you see right here. But do you see that in the churches? No. Everybody's about themselves. So in all reality, they're not Christian. They in Christianity. They in modern day Christianity because that philosophy and vain deceit was forced upon our people. Okay. God never gave us. Christ never spoke about Baptists. Christ never spoke about Mormon or Seventh-day Adventists or Jehovah's Witnesses. Why are people caught up in all these different philosophies and vain deceit? Because we've been taught that through slavery. We still have a slave mentality, okay? The thing is, we don't have yokes of iron on our necks now because we're messed up in our minds now, believing what the white man has told us down through history. Just like we showed you earlier, we think Christ was a white man. I thought that at one time. Am I right? We grew up thinking that, okay? But it's time out for these preachers to start preaching the truth to our people, okay? We literally are living in the last days, okay? We're living in the last days. Now people don't see and don't know what's coming because, again, they perish for the lack of knowledge, okay? Again, they've been taught by these people. This is where you get all these different Pentecostals. You get all these different religions, these Islam and all these different philosophies. These are man-made. These are not written in that Bible. You don't see Christ say, I want y'all to be the Baptists. I want y'all over here to be the Pentecostal. I want y'all to be the Lutheran, and I want y'all to be over here Jehovah's Witnesses. Who made this? Man-made. So it's important for you to come back and know the truth because it's written in this Bible. It ain't being taught right. So I adjure you, brother, I encourage you to do your research because it's high time for us to wake out of sleep, okay? Why is that? When we done with that, read on.
After the rudiments of the world and not after Christ.
You hear that? These right here are not after Christ. They ain't got nothing to do with Christ. Okay? Hosea 4:1. They ain't got nothing to do with Christ. This is what the Bible's really saying because you ain't gonna hear. Have you heard your preacher read Colossians 2:8? Nah. They'll preach a sermon about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, right? Daniel in the lion's den. They'll preach all that on. They'll preach you a prosperity message, right? You know, we know how it is. We've been there and done that. Okay? But now you get ready to get some truth, bro. And look. This is the Holy Bible. It's in the churches. It's been on grandma's coffee table. We teaching out of the same book, but we teaching the truth according to the Bible. We ain't making nothing up. The Bible will interpret itself. We don't have to get an interpretation of the Bible. The Bible speaks for itself. Watch this. Read that. Hosea 4:1.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, you children of Israel.
Hear the word of the Lord, you children of Israel. Who is God speaking to? The children of Israel. So again, he ain't speaking to the Caucasian white man. He ain't speaking to the Chinese man. He ain't speaking to the Arab man.
Right.
He's speaking to the children of Israel.
That's right.
The world that God was speaking about in John 3:16 was the world of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
That's right.
You hear what I'm saying? I'm
Bring it
not
out.
lying to you, brother. I wouldn't be wasting my time making this up. Let me ask you this. Where you see yourself at on this side? I think you saw yourself an American black, right? So in slavery, this is what they called us. In slavery. But you and I, all of us need to know who we really are according to God, my brother. This is what God called us according to the Bible. Okay? Let me ask you this. How many gates is into the kingdom of heaven? Okay, you being honest. Well, how many gates have you been taught or thought? Well, you don't know? Okay, let's go to that. I'm going to show you according to the Bible. So you know that we ain't playing around, bro. Yes, I'm glad you are, brother. Okay, let me give you this last scripture, all right? And so you can understand to go do your research. It's time for our people to wake up. Share this with your wife. Share that with your daughters. If you got any sons, share this with your homeboys. Because it's time for us to come out of this. All right? Read that.
The book of Revelation, chapter 21 and verse 12.
Now, do your preacher preach out of the book of Revelation? Nah, I know he don't. Read.
And had a wall great and high.
It's talking about the kingdom of heaven. It said it had a wall great and high. Read on.
And had 12 gates.
How many gates in the kingdom of heaven? You heard that, right? We ain't making it up. 12 gates. Now, 12 gates. How many tribes is it on here? 12. Now, that's in the Bible, my brother. I've never heard that when I was in the church. I never heard that on the news. I never seen it in the movies. Read on. 12 gates and what?
And at the gates, 12 angels. And names written thereon.
Wait a minute. So there's names written on these gates, okay? Which is what?
Which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
You hear that, brother? So I'm showing you right here, right now, brother, something you ain't never known. Me and you grew up. How old are you, brother? You 46, I'm 52 years. So we about in the same age range. You see what I'm saying? So we know what we grow up and listen to and seeing because they were brainwashing us. They were brainwashing us. That's why Hosea 4:6 said, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. They had 12 tribes, okay? 12 names on those gates, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. So no time out for all these lies.
Bring it out.
God is only dealing with the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. You read Deuteronomy 7 verse 6 already, right? I think the brother brought that out. So who did God choose to be his people? So you wonder why do we go through all these atrocities and trauma that we've been going through from years to years and years down through decades, even to the point where we was born, right? Why do we go through all that? It's because God was angry with us.
Right.
And he punished us by allowing his 12 tribes of the children of Israel to go into slavery,
Right.
captivity.
Right.
Okay? The Bible speaks about the captivity or the slavery of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
Right.
It speaks about also the people that put them in slavery.
Right.
Okay? You look here. You see these pictures? Did this not happen to our people here? On a cargo slave ship? Now they ain't trying to teach that in school. They don't want to teach that in school now. You see what I'm saying? That's why God says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. But read on Hosea 4. We'll go back to 4 when we finish that. Watch this. Hosea 4:1. Watch.
Hosea chapter 4 verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel.
Now these ain't our words. He said, hear the words of the Lord, you children of Israel. Read on.
For the Lord hath a controversy.
The Lord has a controversy. God has a problem. What is that problem he has with the 12 tribes of the children of Israel? Or with all the people here on the land? I'm going to tell you why. Read.
For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
So God has a controversy with all the inhabitants on the land. What is that controversy? We're going to read it. Watch.
Because
he's pissed off, he's mad, he's angry. Why? Because
there is no truth.
there is no truth.
Right.
In these daggone churches, I'm getting pissed off right now because I got family members in these churches.
Bring it out.
I got loved ones in these churches, and these preachers ain't doing it but taking their money, lying to them, and destroying them.
Teach.
You see what that guy was his name? Marvin Sapp, is that his name? Talking about close the doors of the church. Did you see that video? Close the church. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. What for? So he can sit there and take money from them?
Bring it out.
Is that why he closed the door? Oh, it costs to be up here. No, it don't cost you nothing to be up here.
Bring it out.
Cost you to tell a bunch of lies and keep the lies and the propaganda going, but it don't cost you nothing to tell the truth.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So these preachers are a bunch of hypocrites, brother.
Let them know.
And again, I know you got family in church. Your pastor, you need to learn this so you can let him know, listen, man, it's time to quit teaching our people these lies and teach them the daggone truth.
Right.
We are the children of Israel.
That's
we are
right.
God's chosen people.
Right.
And God has a controversy against us because there's no truth in the land. There's no truth in these churches. There's no truth in these schools. There ain't no truth nowhere
Bring
in
it
this
out.
America, Babylon the Great.
Teach.
There's no truth right here in Wisconsin,
Right.
in Milwaukee.
Right.
There's no truth in Chicago.
Preach.
That's why our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. They don't know who they are. They don't know what they're supposed to be doing. They don't know if they're going or coming.
Bring it out.
They ain't got no organ over there tuning me up. I'm telling you the truth, bro. We don't need that. It's high time for our people to wake up out of sleep. Because if we don't, bro, we're going to continue to live and die. Live and die.
Right.
And then when the time comes, Christ come back to get his people, we the same people going to be destroyed.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is